Hey guys, Pastor Taylor here, just checking in with you, Hope City students, coming at you from my apartment here, which is only a couple blocks away from most of you guys, but even though we are close, feels like we're far away right now because of everything that's going on. So I really just wanted to check in with you guys and say, hey, I want to let you know that even though we can't meet together right now during our regular time, I miss you guys. I'm still praying for you, and I hope you're staying safe with your family as well. I also want to say that if there's anything that you or your family need during this time, please reach out to me and let me know. I will do my very best with whatever that is, and I hope you guys are staying safe and are not too bored at home and not playing too many video games. I also wanted to share with you something that I read in the Bible the other day that I think speaks to us during this time. In the book of Matthew, which tells the story of Jesus' life and his followers and leading up to his death and resurrection. At one point, Jesus turns to his followers and he says this in Matthew chapter 7. He says, "If anybody listens to my teaching and follows me, then he is wise. He's like a person who builds his house on a solid rock. And though the rain will come and the floodwaters will rise and the winds will beat against that house, it won't collapse because it's built on solid rock. But anyone who hears my teaching and doesn't obey is foolish, like a person who builds their house on top of sand. And when the rains come and the floods and the winds beat against the house, that house will collapse with a mighty crash." And what Jesus is telling us is that when we know him and believe in him and have a relationship with him, then we are like somebody who builds their house on top of something solid, on top of a strong rock. And when floods come, it won't destroy that house because it's built on something that's too strong even for those floods. Where I grew up, which is not in Chicago, but where I grew up, we always had to worry about flooding because in the springtime all the snow would melt really quickly and then the rivers would rise up and the waters would flow out of the rivers, and we had to know that our homes, our houses, were built on top of something solid so that if water would come against it, it wouldn't destroy our house. And Jesus is saying that if we know him, then no matter what comes like a flood, we can stay strong in the midst of it because we're built on top of him. There's a lot of things that feel like floods in our lives. Right now, this coronavirus feels like a flood to us because it has closed your schools. It has maybe affected your parents' jobs. It has shut down your restaurants. We can't even go to church at Living Hope like we're used to doing because of everything that's going on. But even before that, there were probably things that felt like a flood to you, things that made you feel unsafe, things or people that hurt you, things or people that made you feel afraid or worried about you as a person. Those things feel like floods that come against us. And Jesus is saying that no matter what happens, no matter what comes like a flood, you can stay strong because you have a real lasting relationship with him, and he is like a strong rock that no matter what comes against it, nothing will destroy it or anything built on top of it. That's what he wants for us, even during this time. So I hope that you know that during coronavirus, even when we're apart and you can't see your friends and you can't go to school and people you know might even get sick, that even during this time and any time after this, that you can trust God because he has given us his son who is like a rock that we can build our house, our life on top of. And no matter what comes against that, no matter what flood happens, it won't destroy us. And we can trust him during that time. But that comes from knowing and believing and trusting in Jesus. And you can do that. And that will carry us through this time together. So I hope that you and your family stay safe and can trust in the rock that is Jesus. Now, there's a couple ways that we can stay connected in these coming weeks when we can't meet together, okay? Number one, you can comment on this video. Any questions you have, any worries you have, anything you want to talk about, you can leave a comment on this video, and I will try and answer that in the future. The other way is that you can follow our Instagram page and reach out even on that page. That's Living Hope Chicago on Instagram. You can send me a message or just follow on the updates of what we're doing as a church and what we're doing as Hope City. And I hopefully we can see you guys soon. We love you, we miss you, and I hope that you can feel that you are still known by God and cared for during this time. And no matter what happens, we have our lives built on the rock that is Jesus.